this is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vandergren in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vandergren in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride.
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride.
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono, who's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson offline.
Is green, green, green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to turn it to turns. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns for 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons.
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover,
Which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to snip on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because Tell you what, Bruce Tannock and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we get a good run. Dodd's just absolute thinker, but it's a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SRW TV, and welcome into the Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship for round 3 of season 1 of 2025 here out at Detroit, Belle Isle for the second time this week. We go racing for a sprint round here this evening, a 20 and a 40-minute heat, 40-minute feature for what is undoubtedly going to be one of the best races of the season. Could be carnage filled, could be chaotic, but all out, it's going to be phenomenal battles, phenomenal racing. We already saw a preview of it on Tuesday with Split 2 and Split 1. And now the big dogs get to have a crack at it with no assists, aside from clutch and open setups as well. I'm your commentator, Hamish Munro, joined as always by Steve Sinkovic. Sinker, a big night of racing for us at Belle Isle in Detroit before we have a week hiatus next week. And the boys are out there and they're ready to have a crack at this this concrete jungle. One of my favourite street circuits in iRacing.
It is. I actually like it. When the first time I drove it, I thought, bleh. But after the many attempts afterwards, I really, really love it. There's only one corner I hate, and that's the one just before the pit stop.
I made the mistake again. I forgot to unmute
for you. It was a 15-minute open qualifying session.
Do that.
20-minute sprint race,
so then
followed by a 40-minute feature with a reverse top 10 grid.
So let's just quickly fix that up.
We'll go qualifying in about
last 2 weeks. I made the same mistake.
Keep an eye on your real tubes and your mirrors.
It's all right, mate. It's just you're eager to get out there and go for it. Are we all clear?
I'll fix that now. Sorry, Barbs. Sorry, Barbs.
That's all good. There's people already out there watching and waiting and getting there. 16 viewers already, so it's starting off pretty cool. Tucker Lush 3, he's hanging out for it. He's been the first one in to pop in. G'day, mate. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, mate. Tuesday night was great. As I was saying, I love this track. The only corner I hate is the corner, the dull right-hander just before the pit entrance. I just can never get it right to keep the pace up, and I always just seem to get too hard, too fast, and destroy myself.
Yeah, I think for here, I mean, we already know a lot of the problematic areas around this track, namely turn 1, 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, turn 7. And then probably turn 10, the real problem areas around this track. So the majority, we could just say the whole track's a problem, but
you've got to be smart. You just got to be.
That's right. Yeah.
You're either in the position or you're not in the position. If you've got a glimmer of a doubt that you're not in the right position, pull out. That's the only way to drive this place. Otherwise, you're going to end up in the wall and you're going to destroy yourself.
Exactly right. So we've got a couple minutes left in practice before we head into open qualifying. The drivers will have 15 minutes to start and finish a lap in qualifying. They cannot start one once the 15 minutes is up. They must finish their lap before 15 minutes is up. Otherwise, they will get cut off in qualifying. So we've got some very fast boys out there. James Scott, Rian Leonards, Jack Andrews, Blake Warboys, Billy Mole. But for me, the standout this season has been David Coleman. What a run Coleman has been having all throughout this season, Tuesdays and Sundays. And tonight, well, it could be a night for him to make something of it, because even on Tuesday at this track, he had great pace in that Fishy Motorsports Camaro, and he'll be looking to try and go better here tonight.
Yeah, he did, and he was fighting it out with Blake Warboys pretty much all night until he had his little mishap, and he's thereabouts at the same time in practice with Warboys as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting. You know what? It's going to be spectacular. I'm just loving the quality in this field. It's up and down the field. It's sensational, and the boys, even like the boys down the back, are going to get. Even when you say down the back, it's no disrespect. It's just that the grid is going to be that tight, and the drivers out there are all going to be putting in their 2 bobs worth in, and they're just going to put on a show and a half. So, buckle down, get yourself some popcorn, cold drink, whatever your poison is, and put it on the biggest screen you got in the house. Put the volume up a little bit louder so you can hear us and keep you awake if you've been up for a late one. And go for it, because it's going to be cool.
I think what we might see tonight is we might see the little battle packs spread. So there'll be a little bit of gap between each little battle pack that we do get. But I think with the base of pace not poetry intended there, but we'll get little battle packs, maybe 3 or 4 cars that are around the same pace, battling together on track. It's really going to be about, though, how easy can they stay out of the wall? How well can they stay out of the wall? And can they keep these cars clean? That's going to be the determining factor, Sinker. Is if we get cars that crash but can make it back to pit, so we don't get a safety car, which doesn't condense the field back down, eventually they will spread. It's the nature of the beast at a street circuit like this. So we could see those little battle packs start to form, 3 or 4 cars racing around together. They might be spread out across the track, but safety cars, they're almost a guarantee here. It's only going to take one bad incident for that safety car to get called, and the Mercedes-AMG Warner Brown Tools safety car out on track is then going to condense the entire field back together again. So for the drivers tonight, it's stay out of the wall, stay in the battle, keep yourself nice and clean. If you have a poor run in race 1, you've got an opportunity to come back in race 2.
100%. 100%. And it's also, if you're having a poor run in race 1, you need to finish 10th so you can get yourself pole position.
That's right.
Because we've got a reverse top 10 tonight too. So first across the line will be sitting in 10th place and have to battle their way through, which isn't going to be an easy feat with this quality of grid. It wasn't completely easy on Tuesday night. It was a lot of work to be done. This is going to be a little bit harder.
Got a question in the chat. Is Thomas Freeman racing tonight? I don't know if Freeman will be after his heartbreak today when he got crashed into at the Dipper during the OSR 12 hour, but we'll see if he does show up. We're in qualifying though, so he has to get in before the end of qualifying, otherwise he can't race. But the big news coming to this round, Sinker, Billy Mole, the driver on everybody's lips, the best.
Yes, Mr. Van Meulen
the best name in the grid that we believe seems to be at a new team, WKMP Sim Sports.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good to see him. Look, he's been on such a sharp trajectory for the last 12 months, and you can see that he's been focusing and training and practicing. And I think that coming into this team will take him to the next level. He's going to a team where the boys are practicing, they're fast. He's got some people, really fast guys to learn from. I mean, War Boys, Stone Street, you've seen the improvement he's made under War Boys. So I think it's a fantastic thing.
Well, I think as well, we'll get more of a bird's eye view of it throughout the season. Russell Uren as well for WKMP. His improvement rate under War Boys has been incredible over that team as well. Van der Meulen, is there any news from you? Has Van der Meulen changed teams? He had a hell of a run last week, Sinker. He got a podium next to his name last week in another race series. So Sean is on the up and up. And, you know, has there been a mass exodus of Nova for some drivers, or have others just stayed behind and it's only Billy that's moved? Well, these are questions that we may need answered, because the big implications for not just this series, for other Supercars series out there where Nova is racing and where WKMP is racing as well.
Just to interrupt you, Leonage gone to the top with a 131.717. Few purples. James Scott just come through a few purples and just pipped him straight away by 3/10 of the 131.486. A lot of boys obviously getting their first few laps out, and they're all on greens, but a few boys straight away went to purples.
Well, War Boys straight to the line. How does he go? Tucked up behind the Phoenix driver development car. Ahead of him he goes P10, so not the lap time he would want, but the fatigue will be setting in for War Boys. He's just driven nearly 10 hours in a GT4 car, Sinker, so this guy is committed, but he's also going to have that fatigue factor. So tonight, he may just be looking not to push the car too hard, but to consolidate some really good points for himself out here this evening.
Look, 100%. It's not an easy thing to back up. The mental capacity that you've got to put into a real race car is no too different to what you've got to do in these cars. You've got to be on the ball all the time. All right, it doesn't cost you $1 million when you stack it, but it costs you time, positions, and places. And if you don't have the fast pair left, well, it costs you the race as well. But what a track to go through. Oh, we've got someone in the wall. I think that might have been Billy Mole.
Yeah, that was Mole down at turn 8. On board with Harry Dodds, of course. He had the big move last week, went to his own team away from PER. So it's a bit of silly season for us here in the Supercars land. Drivers changing teams, driving positions.
Already have a smack on the wrist to one of your drivers, Mr. Shane Randell, 501, for impeding someone. He will be getting a pit lane start for the first heat.
Interesting.
We'll have a conversation with him later.
Oh, no, no. I'm wondering how he would have impeded, but I suppose if he maybe came out of pit lane ahead of somebody and wasn't aware, I'm not sure, but yeah, he'll have a pit lane start, but he can keep on cutting laps because it is a pit lane start penalty, so he can still set laps in qualifying. He just won't be allowed to start on the actual grid itself. For James Scott, though, for the grid, he is provisional pole position at the moment. Ryan Leonard looks to start on the front row as well, alongside for Phoenix Racing Team. Jack Andrews, his teammate, is on the second row with Nova Sim Sports. Stacey Boyd alongside him as well for the ride. Billy Mole and Angus Lawford for the top 6. David Coleman, Ryan Mueller, Harry Dodge, Gerard Sanfuentes. Currently the top 10. Can Warboys find some pace out of this WKMP Sim Sports car? He had the setup really turned on Tuesday night. Have there been some changes, though, that has affected this setup in the car? And has it affected how it is traversing this circuit here tonight? We'll have to wait and see, but he is not up to pace that he was on Tuesday.
Not at the moment, he's not, no. Maybe he's aiming for the top 10 finish in the feature and take a sneaky position, because if he did that, you know, it's worth a bit more points, and he'd have a lot of time to get away. It's not a silly move.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Dylan Gray out on track in qualifying. He's yet to actually start a race this season, Sinker, but he is out there for qualifying, so possibly could be racing here this evening. It'll be the first time he'd make the grid in 2025 for SRW in the DK Motorsports machine, if he can do so. Jamie Davis is out there too in the Team SRW Motorsports Camaro at the moment for the 9-2 as well. Further back in the field, Terry Marsh is currently traversing around in his Mustang. I had his POV earlier in the video Ninja, but that's now swiftly disappeared for some reason or not. So obviously Terry doesn't want to have to share his POV inside the car. It's fair enough. Alex McManus is out there too for PSR. So he does on the grid here this evening too. Stone Street, though, yet to set a time in qualifying here. Sinker.
The round just got a bit closer for 5:08 against the 4:86. Blake Warboy's got himself into 4th place, so he's finally got a bit of grips there.
And Stone Street,
yeah, he's in the 10. You know what? As we said, he's on a great trajectory. He's improving, and he doesn't. You know what? It's the first few times we saw him racing with WKMP, he was Warboys was just letting him follow him, and you know, doing the things together, and he's trying to drag him up the track as much as possible. But this season, Blake has taken the training wheels off, and he's right. You're on your own now, man, and he's been doing well.
Well, what about Mole? P4 now in qualifying, so further solidifying WKMP inside of the top 10 with his efforts.
He's on fire, mate. Everyone knows he's one of our little favourites. We put him up there with the Angry Tassie. Crazy Tassie.
He's one of the cult heroes, we'll say, of SRW, isn't he? Himself.
Well, in our eyes, anyway. Maybe not to everyone else, but in our eyes, he's just a great character. We love talking about him and love his name.
No, that's right, Billy Mole, and it's Groundhog Day for him once again. David Coleman in through the James Stott Fountain section, which has now been colloquially named, so we're going to stick to it. Sanfuentes has now jumped Coleman to P8 on the road. Coleman now P9 in the Fishy Motorsports car. Speaking to James Scott, he is still cutting laps every single time he comes around. 131.49 was his last effort.
Yeah, he's an absolute machine. You know, this is a long season. This goes over 2 of our standard seasons, and it's going to be a long fight. And there's people chomping at the bit to get on this grid. I think we've got 4 waiting for tonight, and also probably I think there's another 4 waiting for Tuesday night as well. So it's pretty spectacular to have that on track every week. But you don't get everyone on every week coming in, because everyone has their real life that they've got to contend with. But there's always a few different guys that pop in, and numbers are spectacular. But the race and the show is hats off. Loving a Sunday night, tell you what.
Yeah, it's been absolutely phenomenal racing all season long across the first 2 rounds. And now round 3, well, this looks to come to an absolute perfect crescendo for us here in the Sunday night Supercars. As I said, we'll be having a week off next week from the Sunday series. Nice little bye round for some drivers. Of course, this series goes longer than the regular series does. Yeah. So We're
Scotty's
allowed
got
those
a
little
first-
breaks.
First sector purple again. Yeah, it'll be first time we've done it, so it's a test for us to see how it pans out. Purple in the fourth. He's on fire. I tell you right now. Coleman two greens and 2 oranges, getting his vitamins up. Let's see how Warboys go. James Scott goes. Oh, has he done it again? Oh, he
has.
He has a
131.38.
131.376 on mine. Crazy
Wow.
times. Leonage looks like he's on a warm-up lap. Yep. He's just put the foot down in the last sector. So expect this next one to be a whipper.
So here he does
Where's
across
Stacey
this lap.
Lloyd? Don't know where Stacey is tonight.
Stacey's on track.
He
He's on track at the
is.
moment. Here he is on board.
There he is. He's sitting in 8th place with a 132.364. He's just set that in his last lap.
Yeah, so he's inside the 10. He's got some good pace. Does Stacey Boyd. Leonage, though, needs to find some improvement if he wants to start. Pole position. What's the lap time on Terry
He's got
Marsh?
a purple in the first sector. He's got orange in the second sector.
Well,
War Boys is behind him, not far behind him. He's got himself a green, an orange.
Bravo Marsh. The time for Terry Marsh is 134.160 on the timing tower. He's at the back of the field at the moment. A little bit off the pace of some of the cars at the back end of the field as well. John Gallant, he's just pulled it up to let some cars past him. Oh, it appears that PSR finally finished their Mustang sinker. So now we can properly comment on them. I do like that.
Looks like he's found himself a good person to follow. I'd want to follow James Scott too.
Yeah. How long though can he hang? So how long can he hang behind him? Nothing against Alex. His best time is a 33.8. He's giving up 2.5 seconds to James Scott.
Push that little green button that puts out the anchor cord.
Yeah.
Attach yourself to him.
Drop the sand. Slow the rest of the field up while you make your car lighter.
Who is that following him?
That was Angus Lawford.
Following him. It was Angus. I was
Yeah.
going Angus.
So Angus
Lawford.
is probably actually
Lawford.
going to get the benefits off Scott because he can match that pace. So he wants
Yeah.
the toe off of James Scott. Randall's trying to hang with him too. So all of these guys trying to get some pace. Bravo saying he's just getting the grip. Yeah, he is. And it's no judgment on Terry's behalf. It takes time to get used to this car, get used to the tracks, get used to the setup, and get up to pace as well. And it's completely fair.
100%. Look, there is not one name out here that I'm looking at on this grid that's a sloucher. I tell you what, they are. You chuck any of them in on a Tuesday night, and they're all capable of winning the round. We've got some really fast boys out here. It's fantastic.
So can Lawford use James Scott to his advantage across this lap? Current top 5, James Scott, Rian Leonage, Jack Andrews, Blake Warboys, Billy Mole. So there's 2 WKMP Sim Sports cars inside of the top 5. Lawford will be hoping to use this toe off of James Scott to try and get this thing back up towards the front for Project 36.
Where's Mueller going? How's he doing? There he is. He's got himself a green and another orange. He's been super fast of late, so we'd expect him to have some mega pace tonight.
Who's that pulled up there? Sinker on your screen. Is that John Gallen or Ryan Mueller?
Yes, it is Gallen.
Very
Gallen's gone
interesting.
into the safety exit.
Yeah, obviously pulled it up.
Oh,
Qualifying must be done.
It's stuck on something too. I think he's going to need a tow.
Yeah, it's probably on the wall, although there's only a minute left in qualifying, so he's not going to have much time.
Weird, because he wasn't touching the wall. It was like it was fake brickwork there or something. It was really weird.
That'll be done for Lawford. He's just tapped the wall, so that's qualifying done for him. Remember, these are the last chances they have to set a lap time.
Yeah, that's it. It cuts off.
Yeah.
It cuts off, but what a
Coleman, top
look,
5.
Coleman. And right in front of Warboys, just like he was on Tuesday night. Whoa, he is in some form.
He mentioned he has that 1 lap pace, but he just struggles with the consistent race pace.
Oh, he has been coming in to say g'day to us, and he reckons he's going to have to keep doing it because ever since he's starting to do that, it's his luck has changed and he's been driving better.
We are his lucky socks sinker.
We are his lucky socks?
Yeah. I'd rather be his lucky socks than his lucky
Are we
jocks.
anklets all the way over a calf?
Oh, no, we're definitely like some skate socks that run all the way up halfway
yeah,
up the
cool,
leg,
cool,
you know.
cool. Yeah,
No ankle socks here.
Wow. What times.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable
3
times
minute
at both
grid
those
time
drivers.
stayed.
3 minutes for the grid here this evening. The starting grid will be as follows. James Scott will start pole position ahead of Rehan Leonage here in race number 1 with Jack Andrews and Dave Coleman on the second row of the grid. Blake Warboys, Billy Mole for an all WKMP Sim Sports third row of the grid. Ahead of Angus Lawford and Ryan Mueller in behind Gerard Sanfuentes. Stacey Boyd will make up your top 10 with Will Brown and Dylan Gray for your top 12. As we then move back to Troy Stonestreet, Jamie Davis and Harry Dodds for the top 15. Tim Mulford, Peter Pavlovic, Jace Douglas, your top 18 cars on the road. Do I need to add Jace to my list? I don't know. I'll have to check. Shane Randall got the time in for P19, but has got a pit lane start penalty for impeding during qualifying. So he will have to start from P19, from the pit lane, sorry. Brandon Levin will make up the top 20 with John Gallen, Terry Marsh, Alex McManus, and Steve Vella, your top 24 cars on the road. Race controllers tonight, Matt Keane, Greg Barber, and Greg Leake in the booth for us. So let me just quickly check.
Barb's in there, giving them the last minute chin wag. Better be, yes, Common, we are. In this bystander, where is Stacey still at Nova? Yes, he's still at Nova.
I do need to add Jace to my list. Let's do that now. There we go. Now Jace will show up in the timing tower.
If there is anyone following and you want to know where they are on track.
Sync out your microphone. I think it's trying to connect to something else. I think it might have been trying to connect to your AirPods.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was, yes, please let us know who you're following, who you're supporting, so we can put some second camera action on there as well, or the front camera. But we will try to get it across the field as much as we can to make sure you can see all the talent that's out on the field. And please do like, subscribe, and hit that little notification button.
Yep, we've got 24 cars that we can get throughout both races tonight, so plenty of time to show off every single car out on track this evening. You'd have to hope it's not when they end up in the wall, and it's when they're actually in a nice battle on track. That's what we always hope for. Lee Mueller in the chat. Let's get it done, Ryan Mueller. So some love for Ryan in the chat tonight as well. 30 seconds
to go
until the lights are
and
going to go up.
we are a couple of subscriptions short of 1,400. So let's see if we can smash that tonight. That would be sensational.
So James Scott, Rehan Leonage, front row of the grid.
Dylan Gray on the second camera.
We await the flag to get dropped by Barney. We're waiting for Davis to join the grid. Randall will start from pit lane. As lights are going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are lights out at Belle Isle. Underway. It was a horrid start from Sanfuentes back inside the back end of the top 10. It's a big scramble and Boyd's already in the wall. Before turn 1, we've already had a collision with Davis and Boyd involved. But Andrews rocketed off the start line straight to first place ahead of his teammate Leonard Scott. A horrid start in this one. Coleman is fighting for a top 3 with James Scott into turn 3.
That was not sure what happened. Looks like that.
Oh, big contact with Stone Street.
Stone Street and Gray was up on 2 wheels with 2 wheels on top of Stone Street's car. Whoa. Yeah, it looked like, oh, we've got a rotation. We've got John Gallen. Looks like he's rotated back there.
Oh, and then Terry Marsh straight into the side of Steve Vella as well.
Oh, guys, come on.
Well, this might actually play out well now for Shane Randall, who had the pit lane start. He's managed to avoid all of this carnage at the back, and if these guys need a pit stop, he's got some free positions to get back to where he would have started this race if he'd started on the grid.
Well, I didn't expect that sort of carnage from these boys out there. It's the quality of drivers out there is usually a little bit more sound with what we've seen in the past.
I'll tell you why, Sinker.
What?
It's Belle Isle.
Yeah, I know it's Belle Isle, but it looks like it was...
It's the concrete barriers more so than anything.
It is a concrete barrier, but you just got to be careful. It looked like the one where Jamie was involved with. The car in front of him got snagged on the wall. It looked like he just sort of bounced back a little bit, but we'll check that out, sort of stuff later. Dylan Gray was 2 wheels up on Stone Street's, flashing his undercarriage at Stone Street's driver window. So good to see that the boys are having a bit of a blast out there.
So there was some big moments early on, including this one, Troy Stone Street and Dylan Gray down towards turn 3. So Gray was on Stone Street's inside. Sam Fuentes looked to send it up there. Oh, so it was actually Sam Fuentes. He collided into the side of Dylan Gray, and that's what then sent Stone Street into the wall, and that's what sent up Dylan Gray onto his right-hand side tyres. And then John Gallen.
Nice little spectacle there.
Yeah, John Gallen, Alex McManus, and Terry Marsh. Oh, so not enough space.
Oh.
McManus nowhere to go. And then look at this with Marsh. Straight to the side of Vella.
Like he wasn't there. Straight into him.
That's a single screen move right there, Sinker, if you ask me.
Yeah. Wow. Well, all right. Well, the boys out the front. Rian has straight away taken control of this with a fastest lap already of 1:38.187. James Scott, he's a second behind him, catching up. Jack Andrews in third. David Coleman fourth. Billy Mole in fifth. Ryan Mueller sixth. We expected something special from Ryan tonight. Blake Warboys, we need to find out what happened to Warboys. He went all the way down to seventh. Only 2 places, but he's usually a lot sharper off the start. He must have got mugged somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I think so. This is what happened to Stacey Boyd off the start line. This is on board. So let's see what has occurred to Stacey Boyd. Why has he ended up in the wall? I have a feeling it's from in behind. So he had a slow start. Oh, I reckon his nose got cut off by Dylan Gray.
Yeah, he got snagged on the wall, and then Jamie's hit the butt end of him. Lucky, it looks like there was minor contact from both of them, so hopefully they're not carrying too much damage. No, he's actually struggling. He's locking up the front right, Stacey. I just saw him on the bottom screen.
Dylan Gray disappeared and then drove straight into the side of Stacey Boyd like he wasn't even there. So that's going to look a bit poorly on behalf of Dylan Gray. Let's have a quick look here. So Warboys ended up further back. Let's see what happens to him off the start line as well. Has he just bogged it?
Not sure, but he's lost a few spots there.
He gets it off the line. Oh, he got stuck behind Scott, who bogged it. So that's why. Yeah. So he was coming up straight behind Scott. That was nearly a Carl Reindler moment at, I believe it was Hidden Valley.
His teammate in front of him, he's let his teammate go, so there was no damage there further.
Yeah.
But he's doing well. Angus Lawford's in an incident. He's just dropping like an apple at the moment.
What's happened to Lawford? He's kept it going. He's got some damage on that Project 36 car. I must better myself, actually. It was Reindler at, I believe, Wanneroo, where he got rear-ended by another car, or he rear-ended another car off the start line. Massive firebomb that happened off of that one. And for Lawford, though, he's having to battle his way forward. He's now trapped in behind Ryan Mueller at the moment of Pacific Esports Racing. They're trying to chase down Blake Warboys, who has got a heap of damage on the front of that WKMP Mustang. That was from the contact with James Scott off the start line. Not Warboy's fault at all. He just got caught up in the moment. The cars in behind him plowed him forward into the back of Scott's car. So not only is Warboy's having to carry damage, I believe Scott might have some rear end damage too, but it is not slowing him up down the straight.
Yeah. James Scott's just got the fastest lap of 1:31.972. He is 2 100ths, exactly 2 100ths behind, ahead of Rian's time. Very, very fast. Drive-through penalty incident lap 1 for car 012. Gerard Cifuentes,
who are on board with now, so he'll have to come through the lane for that moment at turn 3 with Dylan Gray and Troy Stone Street.
Didn't hear race control shout that one out. They must be putting it to us first. Yes, correct.
I would say they are, which I can appreciate that, Sinker, because it means that we can kind of break the news to the crowd as Barb's gives the bad news to the driver who's copped it. So it's good. It also means we don't have to wait to hear what Barbs is saying. We can just relay the message whilst it's happening. So Sam Fuentes in to do his drive-through penalty here tonight. Leonage still leads to James Scott, who's putting all sorts of pressure on the back of the young fella. Billy Mole and Blake Warboy swapping and changing positions. The teammates looking to work together.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Warboy's is going to be the faster out of the two, so it's a smart thing to do. And they're going to try to work together and catch Coleman because they've got 3 seconds on the back of Coleman. Coleman on the bottom screen is chasing Jack Andrews. He's been sitting on 2/10 now for the last 2 laps, so he's following Jack Andrews like crazy. He's on an elastic band, mate. Whatever he does, he does. But the pace. We spoke to Rian after the race last week, and we asked him what his strength was. Defending or outright leading and attacking, and he preferred to defend. So defensive stronger, and he has got himself a position where he is doing what he does best. He's got 3/10 on James Scott. James Scott is putting the pressure on, but we are slowly running out of time. We are coming up to the halfway mark, so he's got a bit of work to do. We're at the 8-minute mark just about.
So for Dodsey, he's currently putting some pressure on his former teammate Peter Pavlovic at the moment. Through turn 10 and up through 11, 12 and 13 towards the line as well. So this battle looks to heat up a little bit. Jace Douglas on the back of Stacey Boyd as well. This is inside the top 15. Couple of Camaros going at it. The young Jace versus the old wise American in Stacey Boyd. Dylan Gray trying to chase them down. He's dropped spots off the start due to the contact at turn 3 that involved him, Stone Street and San Fuentes. So he's trying to get back up to pace in this Gen 3 car.
Coleman. Oh, he's thought better of it. He's thought better of it. He sized him up. Oh, that car's looking a bit second-hand.
He's got some heavy damage on that car.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's not my wallet that's paying for that sinker.
That looks like a Decepticon front end.
11, his teammate just in behind him. Steve Vella as well, top 18 on the road. John Gallen, Alex McManus in behind him as well. They've got Shane Randall hot on their heels, as well as San Fuentes, who's come out from his drive-through penalty. There might be some PSR team play here, though, from San Fuentes and McManus to try and get Gerard past Shane Randall at the back end of the field here. And then for Stone Street, well, he's carrying damage. He's coming to pit lane to fix up that car from the incident at turn 3, so he's having to battle his way forward. But at the front, Leonage and Scott continue their fight for the lead of this race, where we've got 11 minutes to go before the checkered flag flies in race number 1. As Boyd's gone round at turn 8.
Stacey Boyd's gone.
Yep.
Dylan Gray's gone.
I assume this could be contact with Jace Douglas, or is it self-inflicted for the American?
I'm not too sure.
So he's trying to defend inside line. Oh, runs it way wide. Oh, and then Jace has got nowhere to go. He's clipped the wall and straight into the side of him, and then Dylan Gray's a sitting duck as well.
Yeah. Not sure how that one's going to fly.
We'll see how race control feel about it. A lot of moving parts in that one. A lot of possibilities for the call. Oh, my God, the front end.
Oh, God, look at that thing go.
Oh, I think got sucked under there like a manhole cover. I heard a very interesting stat a long while ago. It was brought up again today, Sinker, that I saw. If you recall, when the Las Vegas Grand Prix was happening last year, they had to weld the manhole covers to the ground because of the amount of force on the downforce of the F1 cars.
Yeah.
That front bumper was feeling like a manhole cover, then it just got sucked straight under and out the back. It was like driving over a bird.
Yeah, 100%. It was tough. It was very tough.
Yeah.
And can you imagine the impact that would do lifting under an F1 car?
Oh, it'd be ridiculous. It'd be ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We see Lawford hot on the heels of Ryan Mueller up towards turn 7, on board with Lawford now. Last season's, well, one of the competitors for last season for the Tuesday title, lost out to Jamie Davis in the end, won the Sandown 500 alongside James Scott, who we had to kind of argue was the best ring-in we'd ever seen in an endurance race. I mean, it was literally last minute, day of. He got the go-ahead to have James in his car with him. But my God, for Lawford, he is battling his way forward in a car that I cannot say enough looks absolutely exceptional. It's one of the best dressed in the grid. But there are a lot of great-looking cars across both nights of Supercars Racing, Sigga, not just Sunday, but Tuesday as well. There are some phenomenal liveries out there. A lot of teams have done phenomenal work to make these cars look as good as they do, but that thing is, it is gorgeous.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice liveries out there. There's not really anything out there that makes me go bleh at the moment, which is really cool. The battles are everywhere though. It's crazy. Davis and Douglas are going for it down there. Angus Lawford is starting to catch up to Mueller now. He's 3/10 in the back of him, so that's the fight where we've got to go. That's the fight we're watching at the moment. Then you've got down the back, which isn't really down the back, McManus, Randall and Cifuentes having a great little tussle as well. So there's always something to look at. Coleman is still putting the pressure on and not giving up at all. I'll go to, you've got Mueller and those boys up there. I'll go to Douglas and Jamie for a bit, give them some highlights.
Lawford up the inside, gets the job done on Ryan Mueller. So now takes a hold of P7 and looks to chase down Billy Mole further up the field from him. He's got 1.8 seconds to gain to the WKMP Sim Sports car, but he is within sight of Lawford at the moment. Further back in the field, Stone Street still trying to fight his way forward, as is Terry Marsh, as is Dylan Gray, who apparently was involved in a crash exiting pit lane, but I have to wonder if he actually just parked. Oh no, this is just a separate incident it seems. So what happened to Dylan Gray after on his outlapper out of pit lane? Oh, big lock up.
Ooh.
Very lucky not to hit the wall. Oh no, did hit the wall because he didn't click into reverse.
Yeah, that was fairly light though, so
yeah.
The minimal damage. Minimal damage.
And now Andrews has finally gotten past Dave Coleman for P3. Leonage is still hanging on to this lead with Scott in behind. He's actually started to build some lead now, Sinker. It's out from 3/10 to 7/10.
He actually had it up to 9/10 a few seconds ago, and Scott just brought it back in the halfway through that last lap. So he's going for it. I'm just going to take it down to Jack Andrews because that's the camera I had selected at my end. And the fight with Coleman and Jack Andrews is heading up again. Coleman is down to 2/10 and putting some mega pressure on. He really wants that next spot. But as we're looking at this, Harry Dodds is fighting for the position, for the pole position for the feature with Will Brown. So it's going to be very interesting there. Will Brown and Tim Mulford and Peter Pav, those four are the guys around the top 10.
Yeah, Mulford, Brown, Dodds, Pav is a bit further back, but if some of these guys have a bit of a tangle, they'll be right there to take advantage. We've got 6 minutes to go in this race. 6 minutes for Leonage to survive at the front of the field and take a win. It'll be his I think it's actually his first win this season as well if he takes this win. It's crazy to think about.
You're right. I believe you're right, yeah. He's had a bit of bad luck with some incidents and stuff, but his recovery has been sensational. Didn't he improve like 26 places the other night? A few weeks ago?
I think that was at round 1 in Brands Hatch. I think race 1 he finished at the back after an incident. The race 2 he had to fight through the field. So it's definitely been early season struggles for Leonage, but that's where you get tested sometimes.
Yeah, and if you want to have a glimmer of a glimpse at how Leonage does this little round, you could always go to Phoenix Driver Development and shout out to them and book yourself some training sessions for a full season or one-on-one or team sessions. Comes with all sorts of things like setups and reviews, and the guys are absolute legends.
They've been phenomenal in making up their setups, of coming on board and supporting SRW as well. It's been great to see from them. Andrews and Coleman, their battle looking to continue on. We've got that on both screens just for a moment. Lawford and Mueller, their battle is on inside the top 7. So Mueller's actually gotten it back done on Lawford now. And Doddsy is still hot on the heels of Tim Mulford. Further back, Davis in behind his teammate Levin. They're chasing down Jace Douglas as well as Alex McManus, who's still being pressured by Randall, who's now been spun round by Sam Fuentes. That's not going to look good for Gerard, who's already had a traverse through the lane here this evening.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Oh, is he?
And he hopped the curb and then spun him round.
Yeah, but where was he? The key thing for that situation is going to be who had the actual first turn.
He didn't turn over him, though, Sinkers. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Randall hasn't actually turned over him. So if you watch, there's plenty of room given, but Sam Fuentes actually hops the curb, and then that moves his car out into the path of Randall and then spins him round. So that's going to look poorly.
We have got 3 minutes left in this first heat. And the boys are battling it out like crazy. Ryan has got it out to 1 second. I think James Scott has thought, I'm taking a bit of a breather here. He's got the fastest lap, and take it back to him maybe for the feature. At the moment, the feature is looking like Will Brown, Tim Mulford in the front row.
Yeah, Tim Mulford. So being all Phoenix front row of the grid. Barbs has just hopped over the radio. What was he saying?
No, someone's put in a call, but they haven't completed their call. Lap 10, turn 8, not sure who it is. If you're out there, viewers, please like and subscribe. We've got like 7 or 4 left to hit 1,400 subscribers. I'd love to do that tonight. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe or tell one of your family members to.
So Coleman and Andrews battle for P3 continues on. 2.5 minutes left to go. Coleman just has to try and fight forward here. Continue to apply the pressure to Jack Andrews, who's right in front of him on the road at the moment.
Jack's doing all the right things. He's putting his car in a position where Coleman can't really get a sniff around him. Coleman's tried to put the lights here and there in his mirrors, but there isn't really enough places to do it. He really needs to be on the back of him like he is now to take advantage of him on a straight or come out of a corner better.
He needs to try and get the run through 6. Then he can try and set it up at 7.
Yeah.
He just gave up a little bit of time there through that corner, and that's cost him. So Coleman, it's not going to be this time by, but he's going to have one more lap to try and get the job done on Jack Andrews. Now he has to try and focus on the run through turn 1 and 2. Just to try and get a better run out of that corner down towards the braking zone of turn 3. Car 012, post-race penalty for incident responsibility, lap 10, turn 7. That was the moment with Shane Randall. So post-race penalty going the way of Gerard Sanfuentes. Rian Leonage, though, is, what's the lap time? 1:31. So, yeah, we'll have 1 lap left to go.
You're killing me. Every time I go to Rian, you switch to Rian.
Well, the double screen's not on the screen at the moment. What has happened to Jack Andrews? He's blinking in front of Coleman.
He's back now. He disappeared. He's back now. He disappeared for a little bit. Oh, look at James Scott. He's pushing that thing like crazy. He's dropped it down to 1.2 seconds at the moment, but he's really going for it.
Final lap of this race as well. So Scott and Leonage battling it out at the front of the field, but Scott is not putting the pressure back on Rehan. Doddsy at the moment, though, is still trying to force his way through Will Brown. This is for pole position of race 2. Outside line for Dodds. Inside line for Brown. What a move by Doddsy. They're going to be too wide again. They got loose on the exit, but Dodds has gotten the move done. An exceptional move from Harry Dodds.
Very nicely done by Doddsy. That took a lot of cojones to do that, and he's done it very safely. Well done. Look, his big, deep breath. He's got it done. He's stoked.
That was a big move for Dodds, and now he looks ahead to Tim Mulford. Jamie Davis has had a moment at turn 4 and turn 5, and he spun round, and that's big damage. More big damage to that Team SRW Motorsports entry. But up towards the final couple of corners now for Rehan Leonage and Phoenix Racing Team. It'll be his first win of the season, his first win of the year for 2025 in SRW as Leonage comes across the line and takes the win at Belle Isle for race 1. James Scott and Jack Andrews will survive on the podium. Coleman and Warboys, your top 5. Mole and then Lawford has finally gotten past Ryan Mueller. Tim Mulford and then Harry Dodds will start pole position of race 2 after one of the best moves we've seen all season around the outside of Will Brown at 3 and 4. That was a great effort from the top 10. Brown unlucky not to get in.
Reckon that was the big push for the pole position?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure it was, yep.
It was a great little move. I tell you what, Warboys caught up with those boys at the end. He was only 6/10 off the back of Coleman, so that wasn't too far off at all.
A couple of final drivers coming across the line. Sanfuentes not wanting to push it past Randall after what can only be described as serving him a wall at turn 7. And Terry Marsh and Dylan Gray at the back of the field in this race. Stacey Boyd not making the checkered flag, but it's a good win for Phoenix Racing Team and a good win for Rehan Leonard. His first of the year here in SRW. And Coleman, well, he has been the breakout star of the season thus far in the Supercars Sinker. A return to form for him, it seems.
And as I speak, we have hit 1,400 subscribers, mate. What a legendary night. Thank you all to out there that have subscribed and be part of what we're trying to do out here. It's an absolute pleasure to be out here on the stream with you guys every Sunday night.
Now we've got to get to 1,500 by the end of the season.
That is the target. We've had a big week. It's and we're only just warming up. What are we? Round 3, 6 rounds to go.
Yeah, after this week we've got. I think it's technically 7 because it's inclusive. So it's round 4, round 5, round 6, round 7, round 8, round 9.
Well, 6, of the normal season, but we'll be still battling it on here.
And the AWN as well on the post-season. So that too. Yep. So warm-up's just begun. We've got 5 minutes for these drivers to go for a little break. Us to have a little bit of a chat and everyone get back up to speed and prepared for 40 minutes of racing in race 2.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be very interesting, mate. The reverse grid is looking really good. Really good. But Blake Warboys, great recovery. He was down 3 places from the start and got himself back to behind Coleman to where he was. Billy Mole, great effort. I'm really stoked to see him at nothing against the Nova boys, but I'm really stoked to see him at WKMP. I think they're just that little bit faster team, a bit more high profile drivers, and I think he's going to grow immensely from there. The trajectory he's been on, he's just going to get steeper now.
I think the team growth for Nova over the last 2 years has been. It's been pretty spectacular, to be honest. They were at a pretty low point back kind of midway through 2023. Not many of their drivers were racing. It was pretty much only Todd Duggan who was representing that team week in and week out. And then it kind of got a bit through last year in 2024. And then we got into Sean Vandermeulen joining that team. We got to Stacey Boyd joining that team, Billy Mole joining that team, and a couple of other drivers joining them as well, and it all kind of just came together for that team to really rise back up the ranks and be a little bit of a success story in terms of being as low as they were. They had gone from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows and then back to rising back up the ranks again. And I actually think that Billy Mole's probably not actually nothing against Billy. He's not necessarily he wasn't necessarily not a crux, but a major impact in terms of that team rising up the rankings. He was a piece of a larger puzzle. It was the whole team that went up. It wasn't just Billy. And I think actually losing Billy, it would suck because he was doing quite well for them. But I don't think it's not really going to change very much for them because we know that Sean's consistent. We know that Stacey's consistent. We know that other drivers in that team are consistent as well. So I think for him to go to WKMP, that's a good move. And I think it's an opportunity for him now to improve, to race with some different people, like Stone Street, like Warboys, like Uren, like Reg James, Blanchard, Van Ree, whoever else, and actually have some opportunities to race in some different events as well. He might not have been offered the events that he wanted to race in at Nova, which he now gets to do at WKMP. So I think it's a win-win for him. And for Nova, it's an opportunity for them to maybe find another driver to fill that place or focus on the drivers they've already got and improve.
Yep. Yes, yeah, no, 100%. Coleman's pretty much repeated what you said. All the vets drivers, they focus on vets, which is fair, from Nova. And good move for Billy. Laz has got Billy and Shane, both students of PDD. Glad to be part of their development. There you go. It shows. I'll tell you, Billy Mole has been on a massive trajectory. We mentioned it before, and it's been good to see him watch and progress from pro-am in our days and now a pro.
An AM really, AM to a pro. I mean, he's
worked his way up.
He's one of the success stories of that series. We've had a couple of others as well who've been and gone in SRW, or who even stuck around. You think of Blake Fitz. He went from being an AM to being a pro. A couple of others as well. So there's a couple of drivers who've had those success stories of going through the rankings from the very bottom to the very top. And for Billy
What's
Mole,
the series developing because
Yeah.
you've got your broad range of quality of drivers. I mean, on a Tuesday night, if you can get yourself into the first split, you're racing the boys here that race for the championship with no aids, no anything. You know, it's a different level altogether. If you can rub a shoulder with them here and there.
Split 2 is kind of like almost like a modern day OSR devs a little bit in terms of the fact of you're racing against guys who are learning the car, but as well as guys who know the car, but are just trying to get more pace out of it. So it's a good balance. And then obviously split 1's a little bit different. And then obviously Sunday, that's when the fast and committed drivers come and have a crack at something. So, you know, I think both nights are great. I think it's, you know, obviously it's in the improvement stages and the baby stages at the moment for those series to go forward. And no matter how the development goes, no matter how the series develops over the year, I think both series could become quite popular, more so popular than they are now, and actually continue to thrive and continue to be very competitive as well, which, you know, for sim racing fans, whether you're in SRW or you're out of it, it's great to see because it means that there's more opportunities for people to go racing, which is a very positive thing. It doesn't matter what it's in, you know, whether it's SRW or whether it's something else. More sim racing is good for sim racing, and that's what we want.
Ray Douglas, hey Sinker, how do we get setups for the front runners and have, as Jace is always running around 12? Mate, my suggestion is, and it's not because they're sponsors, I've seen what they've done with my drivers. Go to PDD, mate. And they've got setups and everything, so they'll teach him how to handle the car a bit better. And those little finer points is where Jace, I think, he's at. He's at a position where he's got some pace, but he's just not consistent enough. He needs that pace to be more consistent, to be more deadly on track, and then also a little bit cleaner, which will come with being able to handle that pace.
It's either that,
so yeah,
or
they do setups as well. So
yeah, so
they'd be able to help you.
it's either go to a setup maker like Phoenix, who obviously sponsors the series. There are others out there too, depending on what your budget is. Obviously, invest time in learning how to make setups. That's one option. Or prove yourself on track and see if you can get an opportunity at a team which makes some phenomenal setups. So there's a lot of opportunities out there as well. It's going to be a tough slog out there for those drivers. But starting good though for tonight's second race. Reverse top 10, and then the rest of the field is how they finished in race number 1. Harry Dodds, Tim Mulford will start on the front row. Ryan Mueller, Angus Lawford, your top 4 with Billy Mole, Blake Warboys, David Coleman, Jack Andrews, James Scott, Rehan Leonage for your top 10. Watch Ryan Mueller. He took the win on Tuesday night, starting towards the front of the field in the second race with that reverse top 10, and he managed to come off trumps. It could happen once again here tonight for him or any others at the front end of town. Will Brown, Peter Pav for your top 12 on the grid with Brandon Levin, Jamie Davis, Jace Douglas for your top 15. Steve Vella, John Gallen, Alex McManus, Troy Stone Street, Shane Randall, your top 20. Gerard Sanfuentes, Terry Marsh, Dylan Gray, and Stacey Boyd at the back of the field. I want to mention Randall. That's a good comeback from him. Started from pit lane. He starts the second race now after being in some carnage. Starts his second race, one position behind where he was supposed to start in race number 1 earlier. Phoenix driver development, Ray. Send a message to Laz or Rehan.
Yeah, I've just given in the Facebook page. Go there, mate, and the boys will be able to look after you. They took literally 8/10 of Jamie Davis off his laps. When we had a session with them, so they're very good.
Lights up. Let's go racing for race 2. 5 lights. And we are underway at Belle Isle once again. It was a great start from the front runners this time by. They scramble to turn 1 once again. Can they keep it clean for this run through 2 and 3 as well?
James Scott just got through past one of the Phoenix boys and nearly got tangled up, and he is in a sandwich of his own, and Coleman through the back there has come through as well. Woo.
So Scott's already made his way past Rehan Leonage, looks to send it down the inside of Coleman as well. He's hungry to get forward. Early on, there's contact in behind. Massive carnage at turn 3.
Big one.
Will Brown, Peter Pav, Steve Vella's all involved. Shane Randall and John Gallen as well.
That is crazy. That's going to cost a bit of time for some boys back there. Pav calling that one in. It's just those things. You just got to get around those first few corners clean. All right, the hunt is on.
Oh, Dodds is having some blinking issues at the front.
Yeah, he just disappeared for a bit there. But Harry, let's see how Harry handles that pressure. He hasn't been in a high-pressure situation like this for a while, so it'll be interesting to see how he copes.
Well, he's got Mulford and Mueller in behind. Lawford, Warboys, your top 5. Mole, Scott, Andrews, Leonards, Coleman, your top 10. Scott's just gotten past Billy Mole as well. So he's now on the back of Blake Warboys and Angus Lawford. How interesting is this one, Sinker? How's this going to play out? As Warboys looks to get past Lawford. Is Lawford and Scott going to work together? The Sandown 500 winners are on track, but as competitors this time.
Well, we still don't know where James is going. We know there's talks about him going to a new team. We don't know which team it is yet. Shane Randell's in the pit, so he could be dealing with some damage back there. But I've got my camera. We're following the same thing at the moment. I've got my camera on James Scott finding his way through, and he's just tucked in behind Lawford. So
this was
this
Will
is the
Brown
spin that we saw before.
3. Oh, so he tried to go around the outside of Pav. And spins it around.
And he's just gone too fast. Might be a bit of grass in that left-hand rear wheel too.
Oh, and then Randall got caught up with somebody else further up the road. I saw Gallen get clipped. So what's happened with Randall further up? So this all happened. Oh, it was Jace Douglas, I believe, or Troy. No, it was San Fuentes. Randall and San Fuentes. They cannot. They are stuck together like glue tonight.
Yeah, they are magnets to each other.
Get around.
They're driving in the
can't get away
vortex.
from each other. Alex McManus is off the road at turn 7, as is Terry Marsh. So these guys trying to get going once again.
Oh, wait to each other. Jeez, that was so close.
Jace, just send it at turn 7, why don't you? I mean, yellow flag up the
Yeah,
road.
that was so close, so close. I'll tell you what, Harry Dodd's doing a great job. He's got himself 8 tenths out on Tim Mulford at the moment. So he's doing extremely well to go all the way up there. We know he's won races before in his me and SRW. So it's just a matter of him getting back to feet back on the ground and fighting up the front end again and just getting consistency out there. He can do it. He just needs a bit of training.
Warboys up the insider, Mueller, Scott up the insider, Lawford gets the job done. So they're both moving forward together. Their battle looks to continue. The tired Rehan Leonage, fresh off of trying to qualify for the State Athletics Championships, is following in behind them. But he is definitely fatigued. Warboys would be fatigued as well. Scott would definitely be the freshest of the 3 here tonight.
Oh, we assume that. He's just hit the fastest lap too, the 132.533. And he's got Lawford on the back of him, still hugging away. This gaggle of cars is going behind each other all the way down to 11th place. Coleman has got himself 3 places down, so he didn't get the best start. But that's still pretty good for him at the moment. He's 3 tenths of back behind Jack Andrews again. Leonard is putting pressure on Billy Mole at the moment. He's got 2 tenths on him, so he's having a sniff to see which way he can get through. The pressure that James Scott is giving here right now is immense. If he doesn't pass, the person in front of him will crack. Mueller has got a lot on his shoulders here. Yeah. Look at the pace through that.
Oh my God. This right now, this is now pressure situation for Mueller as McManus has had a moment in the background. Once again, he is struggling at the back of the field. So what has happened in behind Pav?
Ooh. So that incident we had at the beginning was a racing incident. A lot to unpack. Pav got a black and white warning for not holding his brakes properly. He was lucky that there was no contact there. So they all live to fight another day. Whew.
Jackals in the chat, fire
so
up Dodsey fans. You've got to fire up.
Battles.
If you're a Dodsey fan, you've got to be fired up at the moment, leading the way.
Oh, look at him. It's only 5 minutes in, you know, and he's pulled away to a minute to a second, so he's doing really well. But Warboys is having a stiff on the inside, putting some pressure there on Mulford. He's got it done.
We do apologise for these disappearing acts that's been happening in the field. I don't know what's happening at the moment. It's not my cause. I know that. I've unparked my cause. So.
All right, test DK.
Yeah.
Test DK. It's SDK Towers just disappeared as well, so it's not us, it's them.
Yeah.
There is some I don't even know where to go to at the moment. I think I might take it back to. Well, I've got it in the mid pack at the moment for both of them. You know what? I'll put my camera on Dodgy when you focus on these guys here.
No worries. Oh, Dylan Gray, what has happened to him further back? He's got massive damage on the front of that DK Motorsports
he's got
car.
no front tyre.
I reckon that thing's clobbered the wall at turn 12.
He's looking good there.
Yeah, it's round here, I reckon. Straight into the wall. Yep, bang.
Oh, he looks like he lost the front end. He didn't have the car rotating enough. Oh, might have missed his brake marker. That's gone. He's back into the pits for that.
He's actually in his box. Yeah, he's in his box. About to say.
Yeah, he's in his box. Yep, he's in there. He's on his way out now.
So Warboys and Scott now hunting down Harry Dodds. What sort of pressure will Doddsy now be under? We need to watch the sweat on his brow. He is glistening on the forehead at the moment.
You know what I'd love to have? Some heartbeat telemetry going from drivers. It'd be great if we could do that somehow, so you can see where their rates are at while they're driving. It'd be sensational.
They'd have a heart rate monitor connected to them, and then the screen would be on their virtual camera, and then they'd share that to Media Ninja.
Yeah.
There are people that
you
do
can see
it.
the heart rate going.
Yeah.
Because right now he would be pounding. He's down to 4/10 already. Blake Warboys is mounting some pressure as we speak, so he would be pretty close to Code Brown, thinking, whoa, whoa, whoa. I got Warboys behind me, and James Scott.
So how hard does Doddsy maybe defend this, or does he maybe just try and solidify P3? Like, because you know you got Warboys and Scott on you.
On the fourth driver, they've got a second and a half on the fourth driver, so it could be the smart way to do it. But you know what? You're a racer. Let's just stay out the front and just go for it as long as you can. You're not hurting anyone out the front.
No, that's right.
Once he gets passed by one of them, well, then reevaluate and try a different strategy.
So, well, Warboys won't want to sit behind him for too long, because otherwise he'll have James Scott on his heels, and Warboys is applying the pressure to the absolute maximum, giving him a little bit of a nudge through the exit of turn 3. So he's definitely letting Doddsy know that he's there, and he's seeing how much pressure he has to apply before Doddsy cracks like an egg in P1 on the road. Jack Andrews has just entered pit lane further back in the field as well. Concentration level 100, or more like 1,000 for Doddsy. He is full concentration, full focus at the front of the field. And for Warboys, he is having to apply this pressure, as I said, to an absolute maximum degree. This is not easy for Warboys to do this. I mean, he's got James Scott hot on his heels, and he's having to put on pressure on Dodds and wait for the right opportunity to get the job done. But they do not want to have a scenario where Dodds is the cork in the bottle, and they're getting held up and pushed back into the pack in behind. Oh, Lawford! Yes, big loss in the background. But he kept it going. Didn't hit the wall, though.
Yeah, he's still got it. He's lost a few spots. That's about it. Oh, no, he's actually still... He's fine. He's still behind... he's lost some time on the back of Coleman, but that's it. Coleman's sitting beautifully in 8th place now. I've got the bottom screen of the battle going on of Mulford, Ryan, and Leonard coming through as well. So Rian is coming slowly through that pack and making his way through. The car is on Mulford at the moment, but you can see them there. The Phoenix sandwich with a bit of Pelican in the middle.
Warboys gets it done on Dodds.
Oh, did you see the rear end of Dodds' car then?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's having a
James Scott can smell the blood in the water. He saw that rear end wiggle, and he's right on the back of him.
Harry Dodds is he's having to defend for his life. He pre-covered the inside line from James Scott at turn 5 because he knew he'd go for the move. Why are we getting this now? Please don't.
Oh, is he just let him through there? I think he has. I think he has, and he's done the smart thing. He's overheated those tyres. His rears are going.
Yeah, the rears are gone. He's pushed it too hard off the start.
Yeah. And he is 6/10 on the back of Mulford. I mean, Mulford's got 6/10 on the back of him, so the pressure is coming. Leonard is following through as well. So this battle is becoming one big snake. We have got from the front row all the way down to Coleman in 8th, all about 6 to 7 tenths behind each other now, with the first 10 minutes just passed, so we're a quarter of the way through.
I'm just checking out some of my performance here, just making sure that everything's running fine.
Looking good.
Okay
I might just switch cameras because we're just doubling up at the moment.
No,
I'm going to take it down to Jamie Davis. He's having a bit of a fight there and chasing down. Brandon Levin is chasing him down, teammates, but we've got Troy Stonestreet on the back of him at the moment. So Stonestreet's putting some pressure on. I'll take it to him. Oh, you can see him, that's all right.
Mulford's just let his teammate Rehan Leonard pass in his attempt to chase down Harry Dodds in the top 3 at the moment. He did a good job. Harry did a really good job at the front of the field, actually. Any chance of rain on the horizon?
It's a safe job. Any chance of rain on the horizon? I thought there might have been some tonight, but
There's
no.
29% precipitation.
Yeah.
I've heard whispers, Sinker. I've heard whispers. There might be some cloud cover on Tuesday.
Tuesday night?
Yeah,
yes, I've heard the whisper.
I've been checking the radar. Yeah, I've been checking the radar, and we might be needing some towels on Tuesday.
Yeah, so Tuesday night, if you want to watch some wet weather GT Gen 3s out there, there's a good chance. Mulford, Rian is on the back of Harry now like crazy. These boys are putting on such a show for us. I don't think it's your system, Hamish. I think it's SDK, because SDK keeps flashing away.
No, it's my internet. That's why I think. That's what I think it is.
Because
SDK
all boys in the back of Scott.
So the reason that SDK is flashing is because all the cars are disappearing and reappearing. I think that's why. But it's not blinking like it's a processing issue.
Mm-hmm. If you're out there and you've got someone you want to see, please let us know. We'll switch it across and get someone across for you so you can follow your teammates or your partner, son, husband, cousin, relative, or just a good mate. Doing a great job out there, Harry. His pace is sitting. His last lap was a 1:33.9. His best has been a 1:33.02. So Rian's 1:32.6. So it won't be too long until Rian gets him here. His smart move in my book would be let Rian pass and get on the back of him, because Mulford at the moment is 1.2 seconds off the back of Rian. So if he wants to contend and get up to that finishing 4th, that would be the ideal way. Otherwise, right now, he's slowing Rian down.
Yeah, he is. He's slowing him down. He's slowing him down to almost a maximum.
I do enjoy the V8, but I just don't have the time to practice and to give it justice, to be honest. Oh, be careful, Harry.
All right. I've had to close the chat, Sinker, so you're going to have to look after the chat now.
That's okay. Harry goes, come on, Rian, you're smarter than that. But I don't think Rian did anything wrong there. I think Harry's just trying to... Look, let's say he's driving above his skin at the moment. He's doing a great job. But he's going to get done very, very soon. Very soon.
He will indeed.
Yeah, and he's made a big mistake as far as I'm concerned, Harry has, because he's lost 2 seconds on Blake Warboys with this fight, and Mulford is now around the 2nd mark behind Leonard again. Oh, here we go. Here Rian's got him on the inside. That's what Harry should have done about 2 laps ago and followed him through. Let him try to catch Warboys, because now he has got Mulford on the back of him, and Mulford's got Mueller, Billy Mole, and Dave Coleman all fighting him now. So his tyres are cooked from all that defence from those front runners, which are not really his battle group. His battle group is what's in behind him. So now his tyres are cooked, and he's got a hell of a lot of work to do.
Yeah, a heap of work to do for his drivers, especially for Dodds. He has to try and fight to keep this car inside of the top 5 at the moment. So the battle is on for Dodds to try and keep this thing towards the front of the field. But for Rehan, Well, he now has to try and find 1.2 seconds to the back of Warboys. So Warboys has now lost out to Scott through that process as well.
Coleman's first to go in the pits. He did that on Tuesday night as well. So we're at the 16-minute mark. He knows he's got less than 30. He's got 34 minutes left to go. Not a bad move here. Not a bad move at all. This could be something that puts him up against those guys that he was just behind.
I was just moving back to see how some of those rear-end cars might have been doing in terms of getting up to Coleman, but he's actually come out ahead of all of them through that process. No safety cars just yet this evening as well, so I don't know how likely we are actually going to get one here this evening. First race we had big chaos but no safety car. Same with the start of this race, but it's all kind of petered out now, which might be the trend for this evening's race looking forward, because we know that these guys can get a bit contentious early on while they're all backed up together, but eventually they do spread into their little battle packs, and then that's when they start to get into their groove and get into their tight battles, as Mulford, Mueller, and Mole all involved in one at the moment. They've got Lawford chasing them down.
Yeah, I got Terry Marsh and brain just went black, and Vela on the bottom screen there. Faulty USB cable, RIP. Oh, there you go. I was just about to say, Leonard has just agreed with what we said. We got in our stream one of our drivers, Mickey Shortfinger Clifton, who's decided to poke his finger into his lawnmower and clip the tip off it.
Oh, so, really?
Mick, yes, Mick, how much did you lose, mate? Was a centimetre at least?
So is Mick Clifton now our Russell Ingall?
Mick Clifton now, when he waves at you, the top three fingers are probably all one line, I reckon.
Well, Mick Clifton is now our Starvey from The Ringer. He's going to be picking flowers with his pinky and his thumb.
Yeah, well, he won't be picking his nose with it anymore.
Callum Rosanita would like that to happen to him after Wednesday night. Brandon Levin's been off the road at turn 3. Had to rejoin the track, now in behind John Gallen and ahead of Jace Douglas as well. This is what happened to Brandon. It appears I have sorted out my issues, Sinker. I got rid of some background tasks that my computer was doing, which did not need to be doing. So hopefully this has now sorted it. Is this what happened to Brandon? Oh, big lock-up. Did he hit the wall?
He's hit the marbles too.
No, he didn't hit the wall, which was good. So, yeah, just broke it a little bit too late. Billy Mole inside the top 10. What has happened to him in behind Mulford and Mueller at turn 8?
Oh, a bit of rubber, which is good.
Oh, big net code. That was massive net code.
Yeah, that just like spun him like a coin.
It was like a Beyblade then. Lawford literally said, let it rip, and around went Billy Mole.
Yeah.
This is Lawford's view.
Really weird.
So look at that, no contact. That was all net code.
Oh, that was mega. Yeah, that was mega net code, man. That's unfortunate for Billy. He was having such a great race too.
And now he's all the way back in T16.
That's racing for you, peeps. That's racing for you.
That's right.
I've got on the bottom screen the fire. You've got it already on screen. Where's my brain at?
Yeah.
There you go. Billy Mole's into the pits.
He is indeed. Ryan Mueller's having one of those little blinks, unfortunately. But Mole is now in.
Coleman is now sitting in 16th, working his way through. He's got good clean air. Coleman has just set the fastest lap with a 132.333.
Where in the hell?
That is comparable to the fast laps.
Where did Coleman pull that from?
He's on fresh tyres, man. He's on light fuel. He's ready to rock, and he's got space. He's come out in clean air. He's got 5 seconds in front of him to Peter Pav. He's got Terry Marsh 8 seconds behind him. So he's come out in a fantastic position where he's got no pressure from behind, no pressure in the front. He's just going to drive to his schedule, and he's going to pull out a good result here, because if you can maintain that while the other guys are fighting for positions, he's going to do really well when the pit strategies are all finished.
So now the question begs, depending on how long Dodsey and Co are out on track, could Coleman lap time his way to the top 5?
I think look, he wasn't too far off there already. He was already in about 7th when he went in, I think it was. So I think he's got it there to get a couple of spots with this early pit.
Lawford in, as is Gerard Sanfuentes. So both into pit lane where Sanfuentes overshot his box and he had to reverse it back. So Levin's in too. Here comes Coleman. He's going to scream past Angus Lawford, Sinker. What a strategy play from Coleman. So he's now
very good.
He's now ahead of Lawford, and he's going to be ahead of him by a fair whack.
And who missed the box?
Gerard Sanfuentes.
Oh, there's nothing worse than going past your box.
Better to get it straight into your box if you can.
Yeah. If you splash race past it, mate, it's no good.
Yeah, sometimes you get told off for missing the box.
Well, mate, the last few races, I can't say anything because I've gone straight past my pit man and the box, and you know you don't need any more to stop you, and I still can't get it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I know it's only been 3 races back, but Christ.
I'll just approach it a little bit slower as McManus has gone round at turn 10. So his race is only going from bad to worse tonight, unfortunately for Alex. Still trying to learn and get used to this car and get used to the setups as well. Trying to improve. Coleman, though, has got some great pace in this car at the moment. Mueller and Mulford still battling. Dodds has now spreaded his little gap out to 2.6 seconds. So if it goes his way, Doddsy could be on for a top 4 tonight. If he continues this sort of lap time and this sort of pressure to keep these guys in behind.
Coleman has just set another fastest lap, 132.313.
That's ridiculous.
Now that is only about a tenth off the time that James Scott did in the first one. So that is pretty awesome. And he's catching
now,
Peter Pav.
the caveat is he's starting to catch this traffic of Pavlovic and Douglas. So,
hopefully these boys will start pitting in front of him because
no, he can't even have that. He needs to just try and get past them.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're smart and they know that he's ahead of them on pit strategy. And they just let him go.
Well, they're both carrying damage.
Because Coleman's got some mega pace and he does not need this traffic. He needs the clear air if he wants to get this Fisher Motorsports car in the top 5.
Yep. There's 8 seconds in front of these guys as well. So
if they're smart, they'd let him go and just tuck into the back of him.
I think he might get one of them down here.
Oh, he's definitely going to get Pav because Pav's down on straight line speed.
Oh, Pav's car looks like it's been munched on, man. That thing is munted.
Even in the tow, Pav's car cannot keep up. Leonage is in.
All right,
so
this is the
one. In
one.
the pit lane. So
and Warboys as well.
Warboys, no, Warboys kept going. So Leonage, Mueller, and Mulford are all in.
Oh, yep. Sorry, yep.
So we're keeping an eye on Coleman because those 3 cars is who Coleman's trying to chase down, but he's getting held up by Jace Douglas at the moment. He needs to try and get past Jace. Jace is trying to defend him.
Jace. Yep.
And Coleman will be screaming for Jace Douglas to get out of his way. Douglas is going to come in pit lane. What was the point of blocking him there for Jace? I mean, you knew you were coming in. You should have just let him go.
Coleman, let's see where these other boys have come.
So it hasn't made a difference for Leonage. He's still come out behind Leonage, but Coleman is in the top 5.
That's where he wanted to be.
Yeah, he's in the top 5.
That's exactly where he wanted to go. Yep. That is awesome. He's got 3 seconds behind Leonage, and that's exactly where he wanted to come out. Because now, if he can luckily somehow get close to Leonage, then Leonage will help him chase down the boys in front. Lawford's just set the fastest time with a 132.067. Is someone going to hit the 131s? Are we going to see a 131 at Belle Isle in the Gen 3s?
We saw it in quali, but it's race pace. That's the question. Are we going to see it in racing conditions? For Coleman.
That's a big thing between practice and quali and then in race conditions. Here we go. James Scott and Blake Warboys are both in. They're both in. This is going to be interesting. Where's
Dodds is in too. So Doddsy's in pit lane. Leonage should jump both Dodds and Warboys.
On the bottom camera.
Very good. So Dodds should jump both Warboys and Dodds. I don't know about James Scott though. This is going to be tight. James Scott is exiting pit lane now, so this is going to be tight for for Leonage. Warboys is exiting too.
Oh,
so
look
Scott's
at this.
out. Warboys has jumped Leonage. Where's Coleman? Coleman's going to jump Dodds. Coleman is P4 on the road. What about Lawford? Dodds is exiting pit lane. Dodds has come out ahead, so this has now turned into an audacious battle for the top 5. Lawford's on warm tyres. Dodds on the cold tyres. He's got a slightly heavier car as well, but it's game on for Harry Dodds and Angus Lawford. For Coleman, he's got a hell of a gap back to them, 5.8 seconds inside the top 4.
Yeah. As soon as he came in, we had a sniff of what he was aiming at, and he's achieved it. His lap times were exactly where he needed to be to achieve what he's wanted to do, and to get there in 4th, which is when you've got the 3 guys in front of you, 4th is amazing.
So Warboys and Leonage, their battle now reignites for P2 on the road. For Coleman, well, he just has to try and make his way forward. Leonage at the moment needs one more spot, and he will be the round winner this evening. If he doesn't, James Scott will get him. Warboys, he's not quite in that contention at the moment. He would need a race win for it to happen.
He's there and thereabouts, man. He's had a stellar start to the season, that's for sure.
He has indeed. I've just realised I forgot to apply the championship leader colour to the timing tail. Let me get that and apply that.
Only about 10 mil. What an idiot I am. Not going to argue with there, mate. Lucky you didn't lean down and get your hair caught in there and get your head dragged in. For those who don't know, Mickey Clifton's got a long hair. He's a rock star.
A singular long hair, not just long hairs. He's got a single long hair. Oh,
oh my. Rianage has just set the fastest lap of 1:31.857. We were talking about if we were going to get it. We have got it, but we haven't just got it. We smashed it. We're like a 1.5 tenths into the 31s. Great work there. He is 4 tenths off the back of Warboys and hunting him down, whereas on the bottom screen, James Scott is having a bit of a picnic at this moment. These boys need to work together to catch him. They're 3 seconds off his pace.
So James Scott, which has now been confirmed when I finally checked it and remembered to add it, is the championship leader coming into this round. He is still the championship leader at this point after race 1. So if he can finish where he is, he will enter the next round in 2 weeks' time, still with the golden number next to his name. So Warboys, though, has got to fight back for this title race, as does Leonage, as does Coleman, as does Lawford. They're all in it. I mean, Dodds as well. He could be on for some spectacular performances this season. Still so long to go. We're only 3 rounds into what is our projected 16-round series on the Sunday nights for the first 2 rounds, or the first 2 seasons, I should say, of SRW in 2025. John Gallen has had a moment at turn 8. Brandon Levin's involved as well. What has happened between them?
Is a safety car?
Well, if they're not going anywhere, it should be, because they're in the middle of the road.
Oh.
So we have Billy Mullen, he's outside, and then on his inside, a bit of catching up. Maybe not leaving Mole enough room, and then he kept it going. Didn't hold the brakes. That'll be a penalty for John Gallen.
No. He's come out and hit Levin.
Yep. So that might be a penalty for John Gallen there, for not holding brakes.
They both got going. Oh, Gallen's facing the wrong way as well. That sucks.
He's still there at the moment.
He's got it rotated. Oh, he's having a tough night, Gallen.
He's having a tough season, unfortunately.
Yeah. Such a great bloke too. It's
we
just
have
things. Yeah, you have great seasons, you have bad seasons.
We have got his camera.
Time to change it.
Yeah, we have got his camera, but he hasn't actually positioned it properly, unfortunately. So,
Hamish, yes. 131.538.
I was about to say
from James Scott.
I was about to say, let me guess who did that. It was James Scott. Laz has also now taken the time to set this up for us. We also now have Rehan Leonage's camera set up for us as well, so we can keep an eye on his pressure that he's applying to Blake Warboys. Thank you, Laz.
The focus is sensational. I'm loving it.
I mean, it's got to be maximum pressure for Leonage on Warboys. He already told us he's a better defender than he is an attacker. He'd make a better wing back than a winger if he were to play football. But tonight, for Warboys, I mean, he's not going to be a centre-back. So come on, he's only 14.
No, he's not.
He's definitely got some Kyle Walker about him as a fast runner.
He's got a bit of growing, of physical growing.
Yeah, he's got some Kyle Walker or Hector Bellerin around him.
Yeah.
He's got some pace. He's having to put the pressure on Blake Warboys for P2 on the road. And this battle well, they were battling for the championship last season. In Season 4, it was the War Boys that got the job done when it mattered most. And Leonage, unable to be a part of the Sandown 500 last year. I'm sure he'd be hungry to be a part of it this year in December.
I'll tell you what, that is going to sell out quicker than cookies at Easter. I mean, Easter eggs at Easter.
Maybe cookies
at Anzac Day.
Yeah. Maybe cookies for the Cookie Monster sinker. I don't know. But...
Oh, cookies.
Cookies. Oh.
God, I'm starting to lose the plot, people. Please
That's
bring
right.
me back to reality.
No,
10 minutes left.
You know that we'll be starting to lose the plot when we start to use the soundboard in here, Sinker. That's when we've really lost the plot.
Oh, no.
And we've really lost the plot when we decide to use Dean's soundboard when he accidentally towed in a session and we caught him swearing on the radio. Oh, it was one of the best that we've ever seen.
We've got Peter Pabs having a great little fight here at the moment with Jason Douglas. He's 2/10 on the back of him, so he's on the bottom screen. He's finally got his car fixed, so he's got the car in a better condition than it was 10 minutes ago with no front end. So doing well. Everyone is pitted now, so everyone has done their full rotations, and we are into the last 8 minutes of this session. And War Boys is chasing down Scott with a lot of pressure from Rian, and Dave Coleman just sitting in the pocket now. He's got 4 seconds on the back of Dodgy. Dodgy has got 4 seconds on the back of Angus Lawford.
Oh, Ryan Mueller went for it on the outside at turn 3.
No,
Sinko.
I was just about to say he's having a good run.
Oh, another victim down at turn 3.
Oh, dear me.
And now he's got Stone Street on the back of him. Will Brown on the back of Gerard Sanfuentes as well. And then Peter Pav and Jace Douglas, who's on the bottom screen. Randall all over the back of Steve Vella. This is for the minors of P18 and P19 here this evening. Good consistent run from Randall.
He hasn't quite done it. No, he's doing great. He's doing a great job. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people that have really impressed me tonight and done a great bit of work. Harry Dodds is really fighting, driving hard to get picked up by a new team, I think.
He really is.
Yeah, he is. He's doing some great work out there.
Best way you can impress a team, beat their drivers on track. So,
this is true, yeah.
Surely
100%.
he's impressing Project 36, Phoenix Racing Team, Team SRW Motorsport, PER, WKMP. As Terry Marsh at the back of the field has been involved in a moment. This is down at turn. That's down at turn 3. He's absolutely outbroken himself into that corner. What has happened to Marsh? He braked very early, and then the car just didn't want to turn.
He might have cooked those front end. He might
have.
He braked really early. No, he broke very early and he kept the brakes on instead of lifting and letting the car rotate itself without any brakes on. He probably would have been all right because he wasn't going that fast.
Well, War Boys has got the pressure from Rehan Leonage. 6 minutes left to go.
There. I'm going to the bottom screen you're seeing there. I'm going to switch it across now to another fight there with Stone Street and Mueller. As we work our way up the pack slowly.
Oh, the pressure from Leonage at the moment. Absolutely palpable at the front of the field. He is applying this as tough as ever to War Boys. Lawford has had a bit of a dropout, but he's kept it going as Brandon Levins had a crash in the background.
Oh, no. He's having a rough night tonight, Brandon.
And it's down at turn 3 once again, it seems.
Yeah, he's missed his break point.
Yep, he has. And Shane Randall has had one as well.
Kept it off the wall. He's kept it off the wall.
It's turn 3 again.
Yep. The front end. The front end of these cars is starting to heat for the guys who haven't got the setups down pat yet. And they're losing. Oh, no!
Bit of ping pong. Car 350, drive-through penalty, unsafe rejoin. That's John Gallen, who's actually out of this race, so that'll turn into a post-race penalty.
Yeah, 350 has got himself a drive-through.
Oh, he's still out there, actually, so he will have the drive-through.
Yeah, he's got himself a drive-through for contact with Brandon Levin on that second part of those S's. That was a bit unlucky for who was it? Terry Marsh.
That was Shane Randall and Brandon Levin.
Shane Randall. Oh yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. That was a Stephen moment. Alrighty, where was I? Yes, I was going to go to Mulford and Jamie. They've got 2 tenths. They're having a great little battle. They've been going for a while. I wanted to make sure they're going for a while before I went there. And Jamie is putting some pressure on. So we've got Team SRW against Lazar's boys, the Phoenix, fighting for 7th place. At the moment, Riyadh is got 3 tenths, and he is hunting down Blake War boys for that 2nd position.
Yes, indeed.
Just that little bit more points.
Well, they got about 4 seconds up to James Scott, so this is now a battle for P2, more so than an opportunity at P1. So for Rehan to win the round, he has to get ahead of Warboys, but even then, James would still win based on the pole position that he had in qualifying.
Yeah, 100%. Biggest mover tonight, Stacey Boyd up at 11 places. Great work there, all the way from the back. And
right
keeping it consistent too.
He's on the back of Sanfuentes and Brown.
Yeah, they've got a bit of a tail going on at the moment.
These guys are battling tooth and nail. Pav still trying to chase down Jace Douglas.
3 minutes. We'll get another... Probably get another... Hang on. 5-0-1 post-race penalty.
Yeah, that's for...
Shane Rendell.
Yeah, that's when he ran off at turn 3 and had the minor contact with Brandon Levin. Probably a fair penalty, to be fair. He's made a mistake and then a bit of contact. Not much you can do.
Yep, exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. I'll go to the Will Brown pack now and take that across because Jamie is just hunting down there. But these boys, there's 3 of them going. So you got Will Brown being hunted down, I should say. Being hunted down by Gerard Fuentes and Stacey Boyd. Stacey Boyd's our biggest climber with 11 places, so it'd be interesting to see if you can get a few more.
So these two have been together quite a few laps, Leonage and Warboys. They have not let each other out of their sights at this point in time. The previous couple of laps look like this. Warboys faster lap 20, then 21 through 23 it was Leonage, and last lap Warboys was faster. But it's by barely anything, barely even a whisper. The lap times have been that close between them. They are running at an absolute rapid pace for the race for P2 up at the front end of town.
Yeah, 100%. Coleman's sitting in a beautiful pocket, man. He's 11 seconds behind Rian, but he's pulling away from Harry as well at the same time, so he's about 5.5 seconds there. So he's got himself that 4th place, the Champions League position.
So 1 lap to go for James Scott in P1 on the road. 1 lap to go until he's a round winner once again. Here in Sunday Night Supercars, Warboys and Leonage still battle for P2. It is all on for young and old. At this stage, John Gallant's had yet another moment at the back of the field. What has happened to John? He already had some damage, Sinker, but it seems it's only going from bad to worse tonight for John Gallant.
Yeah. He's where is he? He was there.
He's disappeared.
He's there behind Brendan Levin. So
he blew the engine.
He had 2 minutes of repairs. I'm not sure if he's got anything left in him.
So final lap for James Scott at the front of the field as he comes up towards turn 5. Plenty of time. Yeah, it's John Gallant. He blew his engine.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not going to get a safety car. We're on 40 minutes now, so he's going to be allowed to tow.
I'll get James on the top cam, on the bottom cam. So we've got them all crossing. The battle is at the top screen. Could be anywhere. Rian's got 2 tenths at the moment. It's just a matter of whether he can push Warboys into making a slight error in a position where he could take advantage.
Well, for James Scott, this has been a regular night at the office. Fought his way through the top 10 very early on, got his way past Blake Warboys for the end of lap 1, and then fought his way to the top end of town past Harry Dodds. And now for Scott, it has been an exceptional run home to another round win for himself. On the trot, James Scott will extend his championship lead at the front of the field as he crosses the line to take the win in race 2 this evening. And Warboys will come across the line at a very well-earned P2 ahead of Rehan Leonage for your podium. David Coleman for the rising ranks this season, bar none, has been the most improved driver we've seen coming to Gen 3. He takes P4 on the road, and then Harry Dodds, after starting on pole, will get a very impressive top 5 ahead of Angus Lawford, Tim Mulford, who's got Jamie Davis hot on his heels for your top 8, Ryan Mueller, and then Troy Stone Street makes up the top 10.
Well done by Stone Street. Good drive.
Up 9
very clean
in that
drive.
race. Same for Sam Fuentes, both of them up 9.
Yeah, very, very clean.
And then
Stacey Boyd up 8, so he did well as well.
What could have been for Billy Mole tonight, though, down 8. Unfortunately, first time on track for his new team. Brandon Levin's just struggling at the back of the field down at turn 10. He's in the wall once again, but
yeah,
for the rest of
I
the
think
field,
his car looks like it's not really.
It's a bit poorly at the moment.
Yeah,
it's pretty much the only way we can really describe it. It's a bit poorly, so.
Yeah, he's probably hasn't enough repair time on that thing as well. But what a drive there from James Scott. Is he doing some drifties for us? He is.
No, he already towed back to pits, so
is he?
This is earlier in the race. Yeah, he towed early, so.
He's like, get me out of this car.
We've already got our P3 on the road, Rehan Leonage, in our green room, so we'll drag him in for a quick chat and see how he's feeling after those 2 races this evening. Young Mr. Leonage, congratulations. P3 on the road in race 2, P1 on the road in race 1. A very well done effort this weekend for Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship, and a good solid chunk of points in your championship charge for your first win of the season.
Yeah, first race definitely felt like we had the pace, and then yeah, just executed it for the most part right. The start was a bit interesting, and then second race, yeah, just struggled a bit to get through the pack.
Yeah, Coleman really had his elbows out there for a while, being annoying. Not Coleman, sorry, Dodds.
Yeah, there were a few that were fighting hard when probably could have been a bit nicer, but it's hard racing at the end of the day.
What
Mate,
fun
you
is it
sound
in them
flat.
being nice?
Hang on, well, let me answer my question, mate. You sound flat. I was about to say, how are you feeling? Because you've done it. You've had a big day today, not just behind the wheel, but athletics and stuff. Because even your voice sounds a bit drained. Yeah, it sounds like you're ready for the pillow.
Yeah, had athletics, regional track and field all day yesterday, and then from the morning until about 3 p.m. Today, and then yeah, I was very tired from that. And then once got home, did 2 setups for different people on different tracks, and then yeah, didn't have enough time to warm up. So yeah.
What a busy man, Hamish. He's busier than me and you put together.
Yeah, Rehan, let us know who helps get you out on track for Phoenix Racing Team. Anyone else you wish to give a shout out to as well? Congratulations on your P1 in race 1 and then your P3 in race 2 as well.
Yep, thank you. I'd like to thank Hybrid Race Simulations, Melbourne Hydrographic Stepper, Aramex Heatherton, DHF Tyres, RSW Graphics, Bubbles and Balloons, and Phoenix Driver Development. As mentioned before, we do V8 Supercar setups. We can do one-on-one stuff if that's what you want as well. We do that on a weekend when we can, some weekdays as well. And I'd like to thank you guys putting the broadcast on, and the drivers and obviously race control for dealing with a lot of incident reports today.
They're used to it, mate.
Yeah, they're used to it. They got thick skin. It's all good. They got thick old skin, so they're used to it by now. But thanks for coming over to chat to us, Rehan. Best of luck in 2 weeks' time when we get racing once again for round 4. Enjoy the week off. We look forward to seeing you back on track.
Yep. See you guys next week.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Next up, we have Blake Warboys in P2 this evening for race 2. Mr. Warboys, fresh out of a BMW GT4 car, straight into a Mustang for Belle Isle. You're a glutton for punishment at this point, aren't you?
Mate, I am so bloody tired, it's not funny.
We'll make this as quick as we can then, mate. But first of all,
Daddy
how the boys go?
We expect you to be tired, mate.
First of all, though, Blake, how'd the boys go in the end of the race? I know it ended probably about 30 minutes ago or so, but how'd the car go?
Yeah, P4 in GT4. So
that's pretty good.
Pretty happy with that, considering we were 4 laps down before the rain hit. So yeah, and then the boys got me to do all the rain driving, so that was fun.
Did Barbs and Milk Carton at least win that class?
I don't know who won. I think it's OPR.
Was it the 51?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, we're not going to hear about the end of that then from Barbs and Stefan, but
but they were on fire towards the end there. They were so quick. So congrats to them. But yeah, no, happy for the boys, Blanchy, Russ, and Troy. Did well. Russ's first big event, so like major endurance event. So yeah, boys did well. Can't complain.
Excellent. And the new signing this week as well, Billy Mole.
Yeah. He approached Troy about a week ago. He sat in with us on Tuesday night, liked what we were doing, so decided to make the switch. He had good pace, just a bit of bad luck.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
He wasn't that lucky.
Had the wrong gear set in for race 1, and then just unlucky in that second race. So, but his pace is good, so he'll only get quicker now.
He will. I was saying he's joined a good team where you guys will help him progress, and we've seen what you've done with Stone Street. I think he's on the right path, so it's going to be awesome. You're going to have an absolute weapon of a team out there, so it's awesome stuff, mate. Well, Daddy War Boys, as I'm going to be calling you from now on, who gets you out on track and supports you, mate?
So Wodonga Carts and Parts, Croc Promotion, Carts Australia, Stone Street Plumbing, Super Cheap Auto and the Super Cheap Group, Pool Guys Adelaide, Barella Cabinets, LGC Images, Dave 37 Racing, All Boys Motorsports, Send It Don't Bend It, Amp Air, M1 Cars, and Pecky's Performance and Dyno Tune.
Very good, mate.
Congratulations.
That list is just getting longer and longer and longer.
Does that mean that Pecky has now joined WKMP as well?
Oh, no secrets yet. You got to keep some secrets.
I'm sure we'll find out on Tuesday or Thursday. When he's on the track again, mate, get out of here.
He races Tuesday, doesn't he, Peck?
Yeah, he does. He races on Tuesday. I'm saying this is dependent if he races on Tuesday. If he doesn't, we'll see him on Thursday in Vets, and that'll be the telling sign. But great job, Blake. Well done. Best of luck when we come back in 2 weeks for round 4. You get a week off next week, so enjoy the break. Don't tell the missus, otherwise she might palm off the kid. But
oh no, we got the in-laws and Jem's brother and cousins and grandmother coming, so I'm still gonna have a busy weekend. But heaps of handballing, you know. Your turn to have a hold. Your turn to have a hold.
Yeah, exactly. Have you had your turn? Hang on, you need another turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you met the baby? Here you go.
Yeah, have you met her yet? Yeah, here you go.
All right, Blake.
Excellent, mate.
Great job, mate. We'll see you out on track on Tuesday night.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
See you, mate.
Take care, mate.
See ya.
Next up, we have our P1 on the road, James Scott. After an exceptional performance, he has now extended his championship lead in the 088 car. James, well done this evening. Round win to your name, a race win in race 2, and a pole position to boot as well. Seems like a pretty perfect night, apart from not getting past Rehan in race 1.
Yeah, mate. Pretty good night. Yeah, bummed about race 1. I had some dramas. Both races at the start, I got some frame issues, and I couldn't do anything. I was just felt like I was doing it right, and then my screen was all freezed up, so I couldn't really get a good start. Maybe my graphics were too high.
Oh, wow.
My frames were a little
That
bit...
explains a few things then.
Yes, both exactly. It only happened, at the start, and there's a lot of cars around. My frames were quite low, so it made it quite difficult to get off the line. But once we sort of spread out a bit, it was all right.
Nice. Did you participate in today's big race?
No, I didn't actually. Although I did see it was pretty chaos. So.
It was big chaos. I look forward to giving Stephen the rundown of New South Wales police trying to find the puddle at McPhillamy Park. Killed about 20 cars at one point in the race. It was hectic.
Oh mate, no updates on a possible new livery, new team.
There is. Well, there will be very soon. So.
Nice.
Maybe is next week. Are we racing next week? Or
we're gonna buy next week.
Not next Sunday. On Tuesday we will be, but not Sunday. It'll be 2 weeks
right.
next Sunday race.
Well, might be out for the next Sunday race. So.
Oh, nice. All right, we'll look forward to that. We'll post that up there. Yeah. Mate, out there today, absolute weapon. apart from your frame rate, I think it was, like Hamish said, perfect race out there. You had the pace, round, had the elbows out when he needed to. What are we going to do to knock you off the top step, mate? We're going to have to sabotage you or something.
No, like Rehan was really fast, and I think he just got sort of caught in a few tough spots in that second race. Otherwise, it would have been very close. He had really good pace. So, yeah, no, I don't think, what was it, 6 seconds or something, 5 seconds or something like that. I think it was a bit closer than that.
We're what are we in 3 laps, 3 races in to a 16-round season. Long way to go. Tides can still turn, but it's been spectacular so far. You boys have been absolutely awesome up front.
Yeah, no, it's a long season. It doesn't take much in these cars to be out of the window or inside the window. It's very easy to have a, how should we say it? It's easy to have a decent car, but it's not that easy to have a really good car. So, maybe once we sort of understand a bit more, it won't take much for someone to, be a real challenger. So,
yeah. Well, I guess what you're saying is that a couple of the boys that are in your Billy Moles, your Colemans and that, Lawfords, will start getting used to the car and starting to make up some pace that they're losing at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sort of leveled the playing field a lot, and seen some guys go forward, some guys go back. But I think once people start to figure out their cars, figure out what they want from it, then you'll start to see those guys like you mentioned sort of come up a bit further as well.
Excellent. Well, who gets Mr. Scott on track and supports you at the moment? I know you can't reveal too much, but the general family and friends.
Yeah, no, thanks to all those guys. Always good to have their support. The guys behind the scenes, we're still working hard with the guys who will be announced shortly. To be able to try and find that little bit more speed. So thanks to all those guys. Thanks for you guys, obviously, for the broadcast every week. And yeah, all the race control people as well. Thanks a lot.
So I've just got Coleman in chat said, FYI, Scops is the week after. So the buy needs to be the following week. So we might have to do a midweek chat with admin and V8s, and we might be racing next Sunday and the buy the following week.
Well, then
we'll have to let everyone know.
Yeah, look, it doesn't bother me too much, but maybe I don't know if it'll be out by next week, but hopefully.
Yeah. We'll let everyone know.
It would work out better for me if the buy was the week after, to be honest. So.
Well, it works out for everyone. And we'll have a chat with Barb's the V8 admin, and we'll put a note out to all the drivers what we work out, because the idea was to have the buys during Scops and Logitech rounds, so that way the boys can still participate, and we still get the big numbers and then all the quality drivers out. But anyway,
I think there was a date change potentially from the draft Scops calendar to the final one, which might have put it out a week.
There you go.
Could be wrong, but I think I'd remember reading that somewhere.
Yeah, could be that too. So we'll update and let everyone know what we decide. But mate, legendary effort tonight. Thank you for coming out and entertaining the viewers. We hit our 1,400 subscribers tonight, so thank you for contributing to that. And have a good week, mate.
Thanks, boys. You too.
Thanks, James. Well, Sinker, that'll bring it into our show this evening. We've got a big week coming up for SRW, of course, with round 4 heading your way. We will have chats in the background to determine whether we go racing on Sunday, or if we do it the week after, or if we just postpone and have 2 weeks break and then just don't have our break later in the month of April. We'll have to have a bit of a talk around that with some of the admin. Coming up this week, though, for sure, for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, we're going racing at Okayama for round 4 of the Warner Brown Tools V8 Supercars Series, so Split 1 and Split 2. Wednesday night for the MOZA Racing Super Formula Championship, we'll be out at Snetterton for a 60-minute race, the second of the season. And then for the Shannon's Insurance Toyota GR86s, we will be at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca for round 4 for another sprint round of that series. I've just noticed on that calendar, there's no normal rounds. It's all sprints and super sprints this season, so you know you're going to get some hotted up action out of the GR86s. We'll be posting to our socials and into the Discord this week as well if we are going to be moving to racing this coming Sunday, or if we will be postponing to the Sunday after the initial round. So all those decisions will be made. We'll have conversations tomorrow night with the admins and the league admins as well, and those guys will determine what the go is with that one.
Yep. And some hot news off the mark.
Yep.
Barbs has just messaged me that he won Bathurst.
Yeah, of course. That's been confirmed by Barbs. We're not going to hear the end of it now from Barbs and Stefan McCartan. Watch out for Jake Edwards to get into our chats this coming week to say fire up Greg Barber fans or fire up at Blackout OPR fans. Freeman definitely was upset. He crashed the car during the 12 hours. So, get out there, say fire up Thomas Freeman fans, get him feeling good. But big thank you to all our series sponsors, including our title sponsors, Warren & Brown Tools, for their support of the Tuesday night Fiat Supercars Series and the Sunday night Fiat Supercars Championship as well to MOZA Racing for their support of the Wednesday night Super Formula Championship, and to Shannon's Insurance for their support of the Thursday night Toyota GR86 Nationals, as well as all of our other series sponsors, Shunt Scenery, Phoenix Driver Development. Be sure to message Rehan and Laz Leonage for your setup needs or any driver training on their Facebook page or even in Discord as well. And as well to Grim Industries for the home of the V8 Coffee Table for their support of the series as well. You can see that V8 Coffee Table over on Prime Video's Top Gear Australia during the news, interviews and other studio segments. But I'm Hamish Munro alongside Stephen Sinkovic for round 3 of the Season 1 of 2025 for the Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship out at Detroit, Belle Isle. We'll see you guys possibly next week, possibly the week after. We'll wait for the announcement, but until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mosca and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to snip on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because, tell you what, Reece Tanak and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us.